Welcome to Board of Selectmen meeting for Thursday, June 21st, 2018 at 10 a.m. at the Town Hall on Main Street in Raleigh. I'll call the meeting to order. The first order of business is to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Being recorded too.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded, audio and video, and being shown on Raleigh Community Media. We have a 10 o'clock appointment with Mr. Edward Della Iacono, Senior, to discuss Atlantic Auto Solutions 185 Newburyport Turnpike Class 2 dealer license.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Peterson.
Mr. Iacono is here, Della Iacono. I assume you got your license with you? Just got it. This is we met, as we recall, we had a hearing or a meeting the other day with Mr. Della Iacono regarding a investigation by the state police of, I think it was nine violations of the used car dealer regulations. At that time, we revoked his Class 2 dealer's license. It's for Atlantic Auto Solutions, which is at the corner of Route 1 and 133 in Raleigh. We at that time advised Mr. Della Iacono, I believe, that we told him we were going to revoke the license for 30 days, and before we were going to reinstate it, we were to get a report back from the trooper who did the investigation as to the fact that he would be in compliance with the Class 2 dealer license obligations. It just so happened that I believe it was the next day, Mr. Selectman Snow and I were here in the office. It wasn't an appointment, we just happened to be here, and the trooper, whose name is
Luis, Trooper Luis.
Trooper Luis. Trooper Charles Luis, who's a trooper in the Mass State Police Vehicle Services section, came in to discuss the situation with Mr. Della Iacono. And one of the things he did tell us was that he was amazed that people at the state level were amazed that we actually revoked someone's license for violating the Class 2 license. I guess it's just never done. And in fact, the state police, for a number of years, had only one person to cover the entire state. They now have seven. So they are starting to get out and start checking the dealers. Anyway, there was 9 complaints against Mr. Della Iacono. Misuse of plates, failure to display used car warranties and lemon law stickers, failure to remove inspection stickers, failure to maintain repair records, VIN numbers, failure to maintain used car record book, unable to examine books and papers and inventories. He was unable to do that. Failure to post his used car license. He's using a borrowed dealer plate. And failure to obtain workers' compensation insurance. So we had a long discussion with the trooper, and he basically said he'd been in contact with Mr. Della Iacono, and he felt that though these were kind of flagrant violations, that he was making an attempt to get records straightened out. He had apparently fired the employee who worked for him and was causing some of the problems. And he was, in that discussion, he kind of intimated that if we were willing to stay the execution for 30 days, he was going to be re-inspecting Mr. Della Iacono at some point when he had all the proper licenses and plates and all those things, that he was agreeable that if we reinstated the license, so not to put him out of business. And we did tell him, or ask him, to let us know as soon as he got updated information. And if I guess there's some delay in getting repair plates, so it might be beyond 30 days before you actually get the repair plates for yourself, but that we could, in 30 days, if he hasn't gotten a letter back to us that he was, a negative letter that he was working on it, and he would get back in touch with us. So my recommendation to the board would be that we stay the execution of a revocation for 30 days until our meeting, and what's,
Well, it would be
an approximate day to be approximately,
July 30th would be the closest to the 30 days, so it would be short of
so
that.
we'd stay the execution until July 30th.
A little over, is that okay?
Yeah, and if it's okay with the board, until July 30th. That would give Mr. Del Iacono, and the trooper, while he was here, did call the insurance commission on the workman's comp. So he does have workman's comp now, and other people were, everybody was kind of really working on this case. Trooper did an excellent job. So that would be my recommendation. At the end of 30 days, Mr. Del Iacono has to appear and come in. And if he hasn't got everything, if there's no negative reports, we can extend the stay for a further time. But we're not gonna, not to put the license back into, permanent effect until we hear from the trooper, and the trooper has agreed that he would notify us, either by mail or by phone, that everything was in order. So with that, that would be my recommendation at this point. I mean, we're not trying to put the man out of business. The only other thing is trooper did tell us that, you don't have any repair plates, so you can sell cars, but you're not to be putting anybody else's plates on your cars. That's not, under the law, that's not allowed. So that would be my recommendation there. And then secondly, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recommend that we talk to Frank Macchiangelo, who does our yearly inspections of all kinds of different businesses, but recommend to him that we get a checklist from the state police, so that when he goes out and he does check the used car dealers to see if they're in conformance with the bylaws, that he start taking a look and make sure that they have evidence of insurance and repair plates and some of those things that he doesn't have any power to enforce, but he can at least let us know if that, and then we can notify the police department to go out, and if there's something that he finds wrong, it will be the police department that will go out and take care of the violations, but not just for Mr. Del Iacono. Yeah, not just for him, but for all the dealers. In other words, we got a number of used car dealers in town. From what the trooper said, they all had various violations and things like that. It's something that's really gotten out of control the last few years due to a lack of state inspection to do these things. So, yeah, my recommendation would be, like I say, that I would make a motion that we reinstate the license for 30 days. At the end of 30 days, Mr. Del Iacono comes back in, and we'll review it at that time, and then if we have to, we can continue it again, as long as everything is being moved along until the process of paperwork gets caught up with the whole situation, and we get a letter from the trooper saying that he's been re-inspected and everything is A-okay.
I concur with everything that Dave has said. I was very impressed with Trooper Luis. As we were sitting here in the conversation, he made several phone calls following up on Mr. Del Iacono on what was happening. So I felt very pleased with the trooper and what his actions, and I feel very comfortable with this solution.
And just to follow
Second
up,
the motion.
I'll second the
and
motion.
just one additional thing was, he was very pleased that we actually took action.
Yes.
And he felt that, and we said at the other meeting, I know it wasn't on television, but we said at the other meeting that, it's my feeling, I think the board's feeling, that when police officers go out and do their job, they need to be backed up by,
They need to be
by
backed
the
up.
boards that issue these licenses. That includes alcohol licenses, used cars, whatever. So he was pleased with that, so I think it's, Mr. Del Iacono, if you want to say something, you agree with that?
Well,
Or you're...
before I get to the, I'll give you a chance to speak, but I want to, for the record, that the trooper did confirm that Mr. Del Iacono had paid the fine and has gotten the workers' compensation insurance. Do you have anything you want to add to?
Thank you very much. One of the things that has brought me into compliance, and I'd be happy to provide you with it, is Trooper Luis had given me what they look for when they come in to inspect, whether it's a spot check or a check when your plates are issued. So I'd be happy to provide you with what he provided me with. And he is very efficient, and when I had told you that he was in Friday, when we went through the inspection, not officially, but through the inspection, and I had several questions for him. It's very detailed, but a very straightforward process. Even with all the years that I've been involved in this business, there were things I didn't know. So, and then you're absolutely right. They had one or two officers that were doing inspections, and it was a common practice, because you could wait 6, 7, 8 months a year for them to come out and inspect you, to give you your plates. There's no mechanism in place that gives you a temporary solution. So it really has been common practice over the years, if you know somebody and you have a level of trust with them, okay, we'll use that plate until my plates come. And I was never aware that that was not right.
If you could give us a copy of that check sheet, that would be great, 'cause what I'd like to do is, we'll take a look at it, and obviously, we're not a police agency, but we'd pick out some of the major points off that checklist, and we would have when we do our yearly inspection, just to make sure. And my big thing is, I wanna make sure that we treat everyone the same, so that if we're chasing you for this stuff, obviously, this was a result of a state police inspection and excuse me, and a report they gave us. We're not running around chasing these people, but it's part of the yearly inspection process on our part. I think it's due diligence for us to make sure that, the certain basic things anyway. Like I say, you have workman's comp, that, these are kind of things that we require from a number of vendors that we deal with anyway. And it just helps to make sure that the public is getting a fair deal on used cars, and that all the used car dealers are being treated alike. So this has been a learning experience for us too. So I think we're all on the same page. I'm sure the rest of the used car dealers out there that, he said he stopped into at least a couple of them, maybe all of them. I don't know how extensive he did, but I think everybody's kind of gotten the word that they need to shape up and start doing things correctly for the benefit of themselves as well as us and the people who are buying cars from these various dealerships. So.
Well, this new state trooper team that they have put together of 7 troopers, it's kind of like a mirroring the old registry of motor vehicles, and they've taken over that detail. And I think anybody that's gone in to have their car inspected since the first year has seen that it's a very different process of getting your sticker. So to become aware of it, like one of the, what we would consider minor, but you can't have your license plate bracket anymore. That has to be removed from the vehicle, and they take pictures of it. And if they can't get it off, they will not give you a sticker. So, yeah, it's...
Well, one of the things he did mention was that the whole inspection process now, with the system they just switched over to, they actually film or videotape every car that's being inspected, and they have the ability in real time to go back and they can pick out Joe's garage in Rowley and watch him or her conduct a vehicle inspection. So the whole thing is really tightened up, for better or worse, and it's the way it is. But with that, I'd like to move the question, we can move along, but you understand what, you'd be back here on June 30th.
I do. July 30th.
I'm sorry, July 30th. You can have your license. I don't know, you just keep that license, Debbie, keep that license, make sure you post it, obviously.
I took it off the wall before
And be back on July 30th, and if you have more information, talk to the trooper, remind him that, we're looking, I'm sure he won't forget, but, we want to get this thing done and out of the way, but at the same time, we're not gonna let it just drop.
I've been talking to him on pretty much a weekly basis. And one thing that I'd like to point out also is, regardless of violations, we have not had one consumer complaint, not one. Okay? And I'm very appreciative of your action. And again, as I said the other night, I apologize. Doesn't make it better, but I apologize.
No, this is something we nip it in the bud. as long as it came to our attention, I give the trooper credit for taking the time to actually write us a report. I don't think they do that often. And like I say, I was very pleased when he thanked us for actually following up, because oftentimes the actions they take don't get followed up by anybody. You know, it's one of those minor things, but it's just something that, you know, it benefits our consumers, and we want everybody to be treated the same.
What they're doing with this Section 5 is only gonna benefit everyone. It really is. Apparently, there's been a lot of consumer fraud, people that have really gotten hurt. They have some public service announcements that are coming out that are already made. They're waiting for budget money to come out with these, and the source of it seems to be these out-of-state plates, and where they meet people in the Target parking lot and take a deposit or sell them a car, and then they disappear. So,
No, that's good. We want to get a handle on it. And the other thing, to end this as a compliment, that I don't know if we've had, in the years I've been on the board, we've had almost none, if none, no complaints about the various used car dealerships. So people are basically treating the public fine, just a matter now of making sure that they're complying with all the various regulations of the state, so, and the license requirements. So, thank you for coming in, and we'll see you on the 30th.
A call for a vote? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Okay.
thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, good luck. Take care.
Okay, general business number 1, review road opening permit filed by National Grid to open 64 Pleasant Street for new gas service. And the road opening permit was signed off by the staff for the location listed above. Any comment?
Nope.
Thank you. And we have a request, general business number 2, for a request from the Harbor Master Bill Demento to lift the hiring freeze for the position of Deputy Harbor Master. Please accept this email as my formal request to the Selectmen to lift the hiring freeze so I can promote/hire to fill the Deputy Harbor Master position. This will likely be a promotion from within the department, and then I will seek a replacement for the vacant Assistant Harbor Master position. Thanks in advance for your assistance. Regards, Bill Demento, Harbor Master.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to lift the hiring freeze for the position of Deputy Harbor Master. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Old business. Old business number 1, an update on the fire station, police station addition project. I've been getting many comments, even from my golfing friends on Wednesday morning. Wow, that place is really going up. Doing a good job. Dave?
Yeah, it's really moving along big time. As we speak this morning, they're out there putting the roof rafters onto the fire station, the engine bay. They've already completed the administrative part of the building. They're now putting the rafters on over the roof of where the engines will be parked. They've really made a lot of progress. I think once they get the roof sheathed in, they're gonna start shingling the roofs. They're already putting up cement block in the front of the police station and then part of the fire station, so that's moving along. They're continuing, it'll start to slow down now because they're gonna be doing interior work, once they get the outside done, but really come along in the last couple of weeks, and, we're very happy with the schedule that's taken place. They're catching up a little bit from the slow start they had, and the weather's been cooperating, and it's just, it's really taken shape. I think we do want to say, a lot of people, the comment I'm getting is, wow, it looks so big. And it does look big. But understanding that on the police station part, when we built that original police station in the early 80s, because of the town didn't give enough funding at that time, they cut back the funding on it. The building was too small before we even moved into it. Both these buildings are here for the next 25 or 30 years at a minimum. They may well last much longer than that in terms of space, but, you know, in years ahead, it's anticipated they're gonna be hiring more police officers. The police service work is getting more intricate for need for office space and so on and so forth. The fire services, as we know, everybody says, wow, that building is really huge. Well, in both buildings, we need facilities now for lockers, showers, bathroom facilities for both men and women, so that doubles that kind of interior space. There's training space in both buildings. The fire station, as we know, and we've had weather situations in the past 2 or 3 or 4 years, the town may not realize, but we actually have, like with the blizzards and stuff like that, we have call firefighters that stay at the station for 24 hours at a time, because they have to be available to go out, and to get them to the station can be difficult during severe weather. So not only that, we'll be hiring 2 additional firefighters in the spring, and once again anticipated that probably in the next 10 or 15, 20 years, we'll be hiring more than just that 2. That'll be the requirement. So both stations are being built to house enough staff for the next 25 to 30 or more years. So when you go by and look and say, wow, it looks big, well, it is big, but the town's grown. In the time I've been here, the town's doubled in size, and if you look around at the number of new houses that are being built in town, all over the place, from Bennett Hill Road to Weathersfield Street to wherever, people are moving to Raleigh. You know, we hear people complaining about taxes and so on and so forth, but houses are selling and lots are selling and people are moving here. So this police and fire services are taking a big step forward by having proper facilities to work out of, and we're looking at the long range here and making them big enough to do that. So as people look and complain and comment, we just want to make sure they realize that where we're going, or what we're doing, and why it needs to be. We don't want to be coming back in 10 years and looking for an addition or additional facilities there. So it looks good, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that the weather cooperates and everything keeps on going the way it is.
I'd also like to comment that we have to protect our employees, and that when they come back from a fire, they may have contaminants, and that's why we have to provide good shower facilities so that they can get rid of the contaminant, or as best we can get rid of the contamination so that they can protect their families. And we also have to protect our investment in the fire trucks. Right now, we have no way of cleaning the trucks, especially in the winter, from the salt contamination. And if we get any more salt contamination on one of the trucks, it's gonna rust out badly. So we have to protect ourselves on that. So we'll be able to do that in the new station. And that's important for us to make that investment.
Over the past 100 years, the fire service has changed so much, and the understanding of the hazardous materials that firefighters now, when they go into a fire, the contaminants, and as you said, we need some place for them to wash off these contaminants from their bodies.
Yep.
It's a great looking building, and one of the things that we wanted to do at this table was to make a functional firehouse, not a monument to the architect. And I think that's exactly what we have.
I think so too. Yep. Bob?
Yeah, there's no question about it.
Okay. So we have the update on the police fire, the Pine Grove School project update. I asked for, and the OPM, Larry Berger from Pink Incorporated, gave me a tour inside the building, and I was amazed. I stood inside the all-purpose room. The platform is gone. The stage is all gone. Mm-hmm. And they've dug a trench through the all-purpose room floor for the new wiring and for the water, and they've hooked up all the new wiring to a panel in the back, and they've repaved that, so that's all smoothed over. They've put in conduit in the ceiling, and they're ready to put in the fire sprinkler system in that area. It's amazing how much they've done in just a short period of time in the 8 weeks that they've had since April vacation. So that is coming along very, very well. I do want to notify everybody that as of June 26th at 2 p.m., that will be the last day of school for Pine Grove, and the school principal who's working on a 12-month calendar will be moved up to the Triton Regional District Office, and W.T. Rich, the construction company, will take full control over the lot, and there will be a gate at the front, and there'll be limited access. Thank you. Okay, discuss annual Independence Day celebration. The event is coming up soon on June 30th, 2018. Amy has outlined a matrix of the event based on last year's plan. Bob Snow, Cliff Pierce, Tim Southall, and Debbie Egan have confirmed that they will be assisting this year. Town resident Melanie Branslow has volunteered to assist with the parade registration. The board needs to review the chart and let us know who will be volunteering. I will be on the common up at the tent area.
Yeah, I'll be on the common, as in years past. Joan will be here to help Tim run the races.
So we're gonna be
Bob's the man
using,
with the slush.
I'll be the slush and the ice and all that.
we'll be using, the donation account that we have to purchase, the hot dogs and bowls and
Hot
slush.
dogs, yeah, I'm all ready to go next week, one of the days next week, and I'll start making the run. And I'll gather all the goods together all in one day.
So we'll be doing that, if there's anyone that wants to donate for prizes, we've had such generosity expressed by, Mr. Perry, Mr. Snow, and the other selectmen. So we do need some coins, they give out the prizes, really quarters, if there's any donation for that.
Inflation, gotta give out dollars now. A quarter isn't even worth anything
$1,
anymore, but, yeah,
50
no,
cents
I'll
and
give you some money,
25
Bob.
cents.
Need some money, I'll donate some.
We have a little left over from last year, and,
Yeah, Joe, you donated last year, right?
Mr. Perry kindly was the, donor last year for this event.
7
so
years
we're-
before that,
We're looking just,
Stu Delzell donated also.
Yeah, just ask
Yep.
what you, tell us what you need, and we'll be more than
Yep.
happy to.
yeah.
Yep, no problem.
I mean, I
Whatever
can
it
go
takes.
and get a roll of quarters too, so it's, the silver dollar for first place, 50 cents for second place. and
Well,
25
that's
cents.
always one of the problems is trying to get the, Susan B. Anthony, dollars.
Sometimes they're
Yeah.
not, but we'll give out
Yeah.
4 quarters if we can.
If we can't do them.
Yep.
So, like a couple rolls of quarters would be helpful,
Yes.
and I help with that with Tim.
Nowadays, you do not find silver coins.
No.
The
No.
machines, the,
Yeah, I have a roll of quarters sitting at my desk, so I can
okay, good.
take care of that.
We still need to, find out who's gonna go get the tents. I know that
Yeah.
Mr. Perry purchased those last year. They're at the annex, I believe,
Correct.
still. So we'll need to bring those down.
Yep.
And then the hot dog steamers, who's gonna
Bob,
get
you gonna
those?
get the hot dog steamer?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
So the selectmen have one and, we borrow one?
From the town.
From the-
You got a COA,
Range.
Is that,
Range, yeah.
Bob, you'll be responsible for that task? And then we need water?
yeah, I usually bring the water down, because this makes it easier to, I'm trying to get it out of the drinking fountain over there, I'll do that,
For the steamers?
yeah.
Joe, are you gonna bring the tents, or do you need some
Yeah,
help? or you
no,
guys-
I can bring the tents over.
Okay, so they're, I think, in the basement at the annex?
Yep,
Um,
and I'll bring the tubs with the
You'll be in the,
condiments.
okay,
I have a cooler and I have a tub.
Okay.
So I'll
Oh,
bring
okay.
that. I have,
do we need,
but I
we
would,
need more than one, right?
we need more than one because, when we put the ice to.
Okay, so if
What
Mr.
time
Perry-
are we gonna be on the common? Setting up?
About 7 o'clock, I think is what you've been doing.
7 to
7,
7:30, because you want the steamers to be cooking and everything really hot by 8:30, okay? So it takes
Oh,
about an
yeah.
hour
Yep.
to get them up and,
And we have power, is that all set at the gazebo?
gazebo.
Should be okay. It'll be checked anyway.
I'll bring a couple of trash barrels, we usually run around at the last minute, we forget that we didn't do trash barrels, I'll bring probably 2 trash
The
barrels.
highway department is bringing trash barrels.
Okay, well, I'll throw a couple in the truck, there's one over there anyway, one that's always there.
And there's a porta potty, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I ordered that. Chairs.
Chairs, so we need some chairs so that the workers can sit down.
Us old people need to be able to sit once in a while.
That's an awful long standing time.
Yes.
So we do need some chairs for the registration.
Yeah.
We have some, set up at the parking lot for the start of the parade at the, VFW, and then for the races, we need 1 or 2 chairs and a table for the race registration, chairs under the tents for the workers. So where did those come from, where did those chairs come from? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I have 10.
You brought the chairs from your home?
I have 10.
Yes, 10 chairs.
Okay,
So, I mean,
That should be plenty for the tent and the,
okay,
and
so
the,
you'll bring
and
the
the,
I
chairs?
think the chair, the table that you used was one of my tables also.
I know you loaned a table and, Cliff, got the tables from upstairs.
Well, I got them before, because I moved them from the auditorium down to the top of the stairs. Makes it
Okay.
much easier to get them out of the building,
Yep,
rather than going up and down all the time.
yep. Okay. All right,
So Bob will bring the chairs.
you're gonna bring the chairs then, Bob, right?
And then extension cords.
Yeah, that's the, who brought the extension cords?
I think Bob does in the
Did
back.
you?
Who do you think?
Otherwise, I think we have, we might have one on the stage upstairs.
That's what scares me.
I mean, I got some, I can bring some down if you need some.
Yeah, I think
No,
we
don't
need
worry
them for
about
this.
it.
Would be okay, Bob?
Yeah, we do need them for the steamers.
Bob, you'll do the music?
I'll do the music.
We gotta get the,
Not the Marine Corps hymn, please.
we gotta get the amplifier out.
It's the very first one we're gonna play. What are you talking about?
We gotta get the amplifier from downstairs.
Yeah, get the amplifier, yeah, from Jan.
oh, okay.
Okay, or does she bring that, or, Jake Summit, maybe?
And I generally sneak
I
in
think
and
what we usually
grab
do,
it.
as I recall, like the day before, we'll bring it up into the office here.
Okay.
So that we can
Yeah.
get it across. Because we're gonna store the condiments and the rolls and such here, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick them up in the morning and transfer them over to the common, and then we'll make the ice roll.
Yep, yep.
Gotta get the tubs.
Okay.
Last year they
Covered.
disappeared.
I think.
A lot of them go back to the COA.
COA, yeah.
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 Mary Ellen used to.
Yeah.
They
In
used
fact,
to-
we should call Mary Ellen, see if she's available.
Yeah, we'd love to have her
Because
volunteer.
she's very good at,
No,
Yeah.
I talked to her the other night, she says she's gonna be.
Oh, okay, 'cause she
Oh,
usually,
okay.
Very.
she kinda
very
runs the hot dog
efficient.
vendor, and she's got
Yeah.
all that, and John usually comes down and helps
Yeah.
put things up, take things down.
Okay,
You know,
perfect.
We'll help transport a lot of stuff. from the
She
COA.
said she was gonna be there.
Yeah, okay, good, yeah, she's
Last time
she's
They
excellent.
used to store them in the basement, and they disappeared for some reason. I don't know where they went.
Yeah.
Somebody moved them to somewhere else, but they eventually showed up.
Well, I have one, and I have a cooler, so I know that.
Okay. All righty?
Yep, we're all set.
Okay, old business number 4, discuss division of marine fisheries fiscal year 18 green crab trapping program. Now we get to the good stuff. Green
Absolutely.
crab trapping. Division of Marine Fisheries contacted Amy and Debbie requesting an official confirmation from the town that no green crab trapping activity has occurred under the state fiscal year 18 green crab trapping program. We reached out to Shellfish Constable Travis Nealon, who confirmed this. So we can confirm for the state that,
I think, Amy, do you agree? I think they're looking for a vote of the Board of Selectmen, because you had, entered into that state contract under this grant program, but then there was no, activity under the grant program. Ms. Travis really couldn't recruit anybody that was interested in it.
There was money, right? There was a money grant
Right.
to help.
Yeah, so we didn't file for any reimbursement on this, so I think they're looking to close it out as a formality. So if you take the vote, we'll issue an official action notice and then send it all to the
I'll
state.
give the motion.
Bob, can you include in the motion that we didn't have any trapping because of the lack of volunteers? I mean, it isn't like we don't wanna do it, but if there's no volunteers, we can't.
right,
You know, and we're not against the program, it's just,
No. We have, I mean, people don't realize it's a severe problem with green crabs. And the danger, not the danger, but there are species that come in, okay, and they go just tear up the clam beds, okay, and the razorbacks, as I understand them. I'm not an expert in aquaculture, okay, I'm starting to really trying to understand this. But the green crabs go in and they just devastate the clam flats. Also, they go into the marsh and they eat the grass. And as you go down to the marsh, you can see the marsh starting to fall in, so they're really a real problem, because they could destroy the great marsh out here. So, they're a terrible invasive species, and they really started over in, I gather, in Europe, and I guess somehow, on the bottom of a ship, they somehow got back, they came into, New England, and they have really devastated up, as I understand it, the Maine, fisheries.
Quite a bit of damage.
And all of us who love, fried clams and tartar sauce, this is a problem in the future. These really have to be addressed. They're trying to come up with something. Senator Tarr and Representative Hill have been working with a couple of in the food industry, trying to come up with something to make the green crab tasty, and they haven't come up with anything. A broth or something, and I guess in some parts of the world they use and ground up as fertilizer, but there's more green crabs than, uses for them right now. So until we come up with something, and usually that's what destroys a species, if it tastes good, it usually disappears quickly. But,
I think they too, Bob, the clammers need to realize that they're the ones that are gonna get hurt
Yeah.
big time, because it's gonna reduce the amount of clams available for digging in Rowley. And, Jack Gunstrom and his son, years past, were very diligent in doing this program, and like the rest of us, he's kind of aged out of his ability to do any of that. And then the younger generation needs to take over, and those people who are using the clam flats and digging out there really need to understand that if the green crab program, if they don't help eradicate the green crabs, the clam is basically, in time, is gonna disappear.
Gonna wipe
what
out.
they're really concerned with Maine, okay, that it could devastate the shellfish industry up there. And to tell you how quickly the green crabs, I was talking to young John Gunstrom one day, and he was telling me about, he had a bucket of razorbacks. And he turned around, 15 minutes later, the bucket was covered with green crabs in 15 minutes. They can, somehow they sensed them, and they were just covered, the bucket. He said he just couldn't believe. So that's the problem with this. And we've talked about it before, but in a cold winter, that's usually when they subside. But if it's a warm winter and the water's warm out there, they just blossom and just, so hopefully we can come up with something to curb the growth of green crabs.
Hopefully.
Might be an
Do
issue.
you have a
of-
motion?
I got a motion.
Just one other thing, is maybe we could get together with Travis and maybe see if he can put a little flyer together to, as people come in and get clamming licenses, give them a flyer with the scope of the problem, in hopes that we can get some people to help with the
Yeah,
problem.
help out.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we're not going down and dig green crabs, so
Yep.
it's gotta be the people that work out there.
In the next couple of weeks, I've been working on the agricultural licenses.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about that.
That whole group needs to, that's another one that's, they're taking, the licensed areas are getting hit with the green crabs too, so.
Yeah, I was talking, matter of fact, about 2 hours yesterday. I was dealing with the agricultural license, so about the next couple of weeks we'll be.
I'll give
You
you a
have a
motion,
second?
I'll give you a motion, or a second.
Motion has been made and seconded to send a statement that we have not participated for fiscal year 18 in the green crab program. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, on to new business. Discuss MBTA Advisory Committee meeting. Bob Snow attended a recent MBTA Advisory Committee meeting and wishes to update the board on the outcome of this meeting. Mr. Snow.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, what transpired out 2 weeks ago, yesterday, I went into Boston, which I do every couple of months, as part of the advisory board. And at the advisory board, they were talking about the T system, and they were comparing it to different various T systems across the world, okay? And, there's, pie in the sky dreaming, and they have to do this, they have to look at trying to get people from the suburbs into Boston and out and trying to alleviate traffic and they would like to electrify the whole system. But I mean, this is like, again, like I said, pie in the sky and then looking down the road. They try their very best. And one of the things they're trying to do with the commuter rail is they've instituted that $10 on the weekends. You can travel anywhere for $10 on the system. So that is in place right now, and that's for the foreseeable, I think it's for the summer months, and it's on the weekends. And then they were comparing also the various, throughout the world, you know, from London to Paris. If you travel into Europe, you see, you know, the metro system in Paris and the underground in London, which is, I've traveled many times, anywhere in that system. Boston system is very compatible to the Philadelphia system, okay? But the Philadelphia system is completely electrified. So as we know, the commuter rail coming up into this area is a diesel system. You know, they would love to someday and have 2 tracks and everything else, but you know, it's all money. You know.
It's all-
And right now, they still have a burden of debt on the T system. But it was very interesting. Again, if you want to ride on the weekends, it's $10, you know, to ride the system. So it's a great deal. And I think if you looked at what the T came out with, wasn't discussed at this meeting, but I think it was yesterday, day before, that they've thought about a project to connect South Station and North Station. And it would be something like $12 billion. So I think, you know, from the big dig, we're probably talking 24 billion or greater. But it would be a great way to,
Yeah.
you know, to have the system connected. But, you know, it's, you know, they're at the mercy of the legislature and back and forth and.
Money is an
you know,
issue.
The funding.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Always.
And, but, you know, it's also anybody who's a senior, if you're 65 and older, you can go to Downtown Crossing and get a senior card, and you can travel to T for half price. So that is something, and you get a little card, and then you can, just like a Charlie card, you can charge it, and, you know, go to one of the kiosks, and, you know, you wanna add $20 to it, and then as you go through the gate, you hold it, to the monitor as you go into the station. This is in the T, not in the commuter rail, but in the regular T system. And it will show you how much is left on your senior card, or your Charlie card. So it's a great way, I grew up in the city, so the T, from a very young age, which one of the times I got grounded because I was 7 years old riding the tree to Forest Hill. But anyways, I love the T, and you can go anywhere in the Boston area using it. So
Yeah.
if you're 65, go to Downtown Crossing. It's the tunnel that connects the orange line with the red line right in there, and they'll give you a temporary card right in the beginning. And then they'll send you the picture card. They'll take your picture and send that out.
Sure.
Anyways.
Did they mention anything about the infamous Wi-Fi program?
No, that was not mentioned. That
a
was
question, that's all.
kind of on the back burner, and I'll have to wait for the next meeting.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, new business number 2, discuss intersection of Route 1 and Central and Glen Streets. The board discussed this intersection at the meeting on Monday, June 18th, and voted to send a letter to the Massachusetts Department of Transportation with a copy to Senator Tarr, Representative Hill, and Governor Baker. This letter will request a review of this intersection and also the Route 1 and Weathersfield intersection. We had a fatality at the intersection of Route 1 and Central Streets, not long ago, just within the past week or so.
For the public's edification, Mr. Chairman, I did go through the packet of information that's available here at the Selectmen's office on the last 15 years going back 2006, 2007, that Board of Selectmen, along with our representatives and senators, have, on numerous occasions, have requested, the state, it's a state issue, it's not a town issue, that they look at, and requested traffic lights both at Weathersfield Street and Route 1 and Central Street and Route 1. And each time we've been turned down. The latest in-depth study in which the state actually hired a consultant was, that was the one you pushed, Bob, back in 2013, 2014, so it's only 4 or 5 years ago. The state did a complete traffic study out there, which is available, and we once again got turned down because of the lack of traffic volume going through that intersection. So it's up to the state to do this. We'll, like I say, we're requesting them to take another look at it again, but it's basically out of our hands. It's a state road, state funding, and, you know, they're reluctant to, without enough need, they don't like putting traffic lights up everywhere. That's the problem, so.
I don't like paying a light bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue.
Well,
But I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, you got traffic coming down. One of the issues is that traffic's coming down through that intersection. I think they did reduce the speed limit there by 5 miles an hour at the last, when they did the study in 2013, 2014. But you got traffic coming down there at 45, 50 miles an hour or greater, and all of a sudden there's a red light. That creates a problem in itself, so. We've done our due diligence. All we can do is write letters, and Brad Hill and Bruce Tarr are aware of it, and, you know, people gotta understand that even if they approve something, it's gonna take 2 or 3 more years to get an approval, and it'll be another 2 or 3 years beyond that to come up with money, because all these things get put into the queue for construction. And as Bob knows, you deal with the Merrimack Valley, you know, most of these major traffic issues are handled 4 or 5 years down the road, so. We've done our due diligence over the years. Like I say, we got a packet, you know, 1/2 an inch thick of everything that's been done, and everything's clearly detailed if anybody wants to look at it. And then they can come down to the office and take a look. But we've done as much as we can do, and we'll keep hollering, and our senators and reps will keep hollering, but it's up to the state to make that, they're the ones that make that determination.
I've got to make the point too that because of my location, I'm on Weathersfield approaching Route 1 at least twice a day. And the volume of traffic on Route 1 is just getting to be ridiculous. And I could be sitting there at that intersection waiting for 15 or 20 cars going one way or the other. And it's just getting to be very problematic, trying to get out of the road into the highway.
The problem is
We
now
need some help.
the economy's good, and as we increase the numbers of local businesses, both here in Raleigh and in our surrounding communities, more and more people are using Route 1. And the same thing can be said for 133. You can sit there forever. It's coming out of Boxford Road onto 133, especially during the rush hour times. And people have to understand out there, I mean, this accident here was, as I understand it, the person was not wearing a seatbelt. Got thrown from the vehicle. So encourage people to wear their seatbelts, and, you know, you have to take a little personal responsibility too. We'll do what we can to hopefully get some action out there from the state, but, you know, wear your seatbelts, make sure your kids are secured in the vehicle, and help yourself. That's one of the big things you can do in the meantime, whatever happens with an intersection, so.
yeah, this, you know, it's a tragic accident. It's heart-wrenching. It's emotional. Once a month, I meet with Merrimack Valley Planning Commission, okay? And then I also meet once a month, the MOP, which looks at, I meet with Mass Highway, the Department of Transportation, and there's like 20 people at the table, and I'll meet next Tuesday, and I'll bring this up again, but everyone has to understand, all the communities bring up their situations, and everybody has an intersection or a roadway, and there's numerous, and has gone down over the years only because of funding, and it's starting to expand with the number of projects throughout the Northeast. But again, this is one of many and then trying to get, it would cost about $1 million to put a light system at this intersection. And trying to get $1 million, and again, we're competing with everyone else in the Northeast. And we're competing with other areas that have had fatalities, okay, and numerous traffic accidents, more than this intersection. I'm not saying that this is something to be fluffed off. This is a tragic event. Anytime we lose anybody at you know, one of our neighbors or, you know, someone from another town in a traffic accident. And again, I will bring this up next Tuesday at the MOP, and I'll bring it up again tonight when I go to the Merrimack Valley. Again, it's you know, like you said, Dave, you know, I understand he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. The day before this happened, the accident, I was coming down Route 1. I was coming out from Seabrook, and as I was approaching, and everybody knows on Route 1, Governor's Ave in Newbury, as you go down, and it's a 45-mile-an-hour zone. And I'm coming down, and it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and somebody comes up on my tail, and again, it's a 45-mile-an-hour zone. Traffic goes down, and they're going 60 miles an hour. And they went through the 45-mile-an-hour zone at 60 miles an hour. And then I got over it, and they came up to the rise on the hill as you come into the Glen Street Central, and blew right through that intersection. And you know, as far as I know, I'm doing the speed limit, the 45, and then I popped up to 50, and they were out of sight as I came over the rise. And there was another car behind that doing the same thing. And
Yeah, that frequently happens.
so,
Frequently.
No, it's a problem.
and I understand the speed in this case was not a factor in this particular accident. But, you know, the only way you have to take personal responsibility, wear your seatbelt, obey the speed limits.
And pay attention, no texting, no telephones, stay off the phones.
Stay off
And
the
you're
phones.
And you look in this report, you see, you know, you see inattention.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And, you know, they keep telling you, like you said, no texting.
Put the
no
phone
using-
away.
Put your phone away, you know, you can live with, again, you can live without your phone for that period of time.
Okay. All righty?
Yep.
We'll move on to reappointments. I'm going to take it by groups. Position our board, and then I will do the appointee, and the expiration date will be for the whole group. So the first group will be the Board of Appeals and Zoning Board of Appeals. The appointee is Donald W. Thurston, Chairman, and the expiration date is June 30th, 2023.
Give the motion.
Mr. Chairman.
You have a second?
Give the motion.
Oh, okay, second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have Fire Department, 3-year term, James C. Broderick, Chief, Mark Emery, Captain, James Murray, Captain, June 30th, 2021.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 I recuse myself.
We have Forest Fire Warden and Superintendent of the Fire Alarm, a 1-year term. We have 3 appointees, James C. Broderick, Chief, Mark Emery, Assistant, James R. Murray, Assistant, for June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Recuse myself.
We have call firefighters, 1-year term. We have, and the terms are all till June 30th, 2019, for James Chadbourne, Darcy Condelli, Ron Agrella, Christopher Cassidy, John Condelli, Donald Dupre, Evan Fish, Justin Graham, Vincent Gadenzi, Matthew Harney, Charles Hazen Jr., Patrick McManus, Joseph Murray, Robert O'Leary, Matthew Ross, Brian Scully, Robert Serino, Timothy Shirley, Joshua Simpson, Jesse Warren, and Mark Winfrey.
Give me that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 I recuse myself.
Fire Chaplain, 1-year term, Robert M. J. Hagopian, till June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Raleigh Emergency Management Agency, a one-year term. James Broderick, Fire Chief, Emergency Management Director. And all of the term expiration dates are June 30th, 2019. Scott Dumas, Police Chief. Dan Folding, Light Plant Manager. Brianne Walsh, Council on Aging Director. Patrick Snow, Highway Surveyor. Frank Masciani, Health Agent. Deborah Egan, Town Administrator. James DiMarino, Races, Amateur Radio Operator.
Motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have the Northern Essex Regional Emergency Planning Committee, one-year term. The and they all expire June 30th, 2019. James Broderick, Fire Chief, Emergency Management Director. Scott Dumas, Police Chief. Frank Masciani, Health Agent. Brianne Welsh, Council on Aging Director. Patrick Snow, Highway Surveyor. Deborah Egan, Town Administrator. Bill Demento, Harbor Master. Dan Folding, Light Plant Manager.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Should I read the note, Deb?
No, it's just, once, there's an appointment for the water superintendent.
Oh.
We'll have
Okay.
somebody.
We have Open Space Committee. It's a one-year term. The term expiration is June 30th, 2019. We have Sonia Vigcola, Chair. Brooke Tenek, Clerk. Howard Vogel, Alyssa King, and Jenna Haig.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Harbor Master, one-year term. Term expires June 30th, 2019. For William Demento, Fred Hardy, Assistant. David S. Ken, Assistant. Frank Price, Assistant.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sandy Point Committee Member. The expiration date is June 30th, 2019 for John Manning and Bill Demento.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 God bless you.
Thank you.
Raleigh Cultural Council. Expiration date is June 30th, 2019. The appointees are Annetta Kelly, Chair, Deborah Streif, Treasurer, Nancy Kribari, Secretary, Mary Bright, Member.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have the Council on Aging, three-year term, and the term expires June 30th, 2021. The appointees are George Gallant, Diana Titus, and Merle Phipps.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 We have the Shellfish Constable, it's Travis Nealon. The term runs till June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
All those in favor? Oh, sorry.
Second.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Shellfish Constable Deputies. We have four. The term expires June 30th, 2019. Stuart Dalzell Jr., William Demento, Fred Hardy, and Richard McDonald.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have the parking clerk, a one-year term, and expires on June 30th, 2019. Sue Hazen, Town Clerk, and Sue Leach.
Give me the motion.
Second.
All those, the motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Board of Registrars, a one-year term. Gordon Densmore, Susan Hazen, Geraldine Robertson, and the term expires June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Limited Health Agents, one-year term. Susan Hazen, Town Clerk. Susan Leach, Jeffrey E. Megna, and the term expires June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Local Census Liaison for Federal Census. It's a one-year term, and the appointee is Susan Hazen, Town Clerk. Expires June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have mooring clerk, one-year term. The appointees are Susan Hazen, town clerk, and Susan Leach, and the expiration date is June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Records Access Officer, it's a one-year term, and the appointee is Susan Hazen, town clerk. The expiration date is June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 This one also?
No, that's coming up.
Oh, that's coming up. Okay.
Okay. We have fiscal year 19 appointments. I don't know why that's, okay, we have election workers, it's a one-year term, and the term expires June 30th, 2019. The appointees are Annetta Kelly, Mary Ellen McDonald, Marion Madden, Joan Peterson, Mary Bright, Joan Lyons, Marianne Musial, Kathy Cousins, Michelle Ford, Robert Johnson, Susan Leach, G. Robert Mary, Mary Ellen Miles, and Linda Snow.
Give me the motion.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I know that, Mr. Peterson's wife's on this list, and then Mr. Mary's on the list, so if we have the vote, for everyone except those two. And
Okay.
And then, we can vote separately for Joan Peterson.
For Joan Peterson and G.
Bob
Robert Mary.
Yeah.
So motion for excluding those.
Yeah.
Excluding Joan Peterson and Bob
Excluding
Mary.
Bob
Joe
Mary.
Peterson.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And to appoint Joan Peterson for a one-year term and G. Robert Mary for a one-year. No, we have two
it's
separate.
Have two separate.
Okay.
So we did,
Joan Peterson for a one-year term ending June 30th, 2019.
give me that motion.
Bob?
Bob.
Second.
I get a, so, well, okay, second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
And for G. Robert Mary for a one-year term expiring June 30th, 2019.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 And Bob,
Bob
you
abstained.
abstain. You abstain.
Abstain, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. We have budget transfers. Fiscal year 18 budget transfers under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, Section 33B, subsection B. Transfer amount is $210. Date is June 7th, 2018. Transfer from the Inspection Department expenses, account number 01-241-5420-000 to line number 73, fiscal year 18 budget, Art .4 5117 ATM. Balance before transfer $2,159.12. Transfer to, oh, I'm sorry, that's the same line, that's the line number. Transfer to account number, name is Inspection Department Salaries, account number 01-241-5111-000, line number 71, fiscal year 18 budget, Art 4 5117 ATM, annual town meeting. Balance before transfer at $9,670.09. The reason, an error in electrical inspector payroll calculation.
I'll give you a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And we have a second. We have a fiscal year 18 budget transfer under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 33B, subsection B. Transfer the amount of $6,000, date on 12th of June 18. Transfer from litigation, account number 01-151-5480-001, line number 36, balance before transfer $55,732.15. Transfer to, the account name is Field Maintenance, account number 01-7 630-5425-000. Line number is 126. Balance before transfer is $4,136.20. Irrigation well pump needs to be replaced with a new pump.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have number 3, budget transfer. Under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 33B, subsection B, transfer amount $250, date June 14th, 2018, transfer from treasurer expenses, account number 01-145-5420-002, line number 32. Balance before transfer is $6,291.44. Transfer 2, account name is Administrative Assistant Wages. Account number is 01-145-5113-002. The line number is 31. The balance before the transfer is $1,725.34. Additional coverage needed.
Give me the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we have to sign all of these?
You can sign them later when we finish.
Okay. And number 4, fiscal year 18 budget transfer under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 33B, subsection B, transfer the amount of $10,000, dated June 18th, 2018, transfer from Town Council litigation, account number 01-151-5480-001, line number 36, balance before transfer is $55,732.12. Transfer 2, account name is Town Council Professional, account number is 01-151-5306-001, line number 35, balance before transfer $8,226.02. Due to the utilization of professional legal services in fiscal year 18 for various projects in this account is running low.
Give me the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have minutes from March 19th.
Give me a motion for March 19th, Mr.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the Board of Selectmen meeting for March 19th, 2018. All those in favor say aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, I'll give you a motion for April 30th, 2018.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes for the Board of Selectmen meeting for April 30th, 2018. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We-
Mr. Chairman, can we go back just for 1 second, just talk about Glen Street and just with...
Yes.
2 days ago, I met with Representative Hill, and we discussed the intersection. And I gave him a copy of the packet that was put together by the office here. So just, and we will, I will be talking to Representative Hill and also Senator Tar.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, let me go to announcements, and I request that the board members stay after the adjournment to sign those budget transfers. Announcements. The Raleigh Highway Department is conducting road work on Christopher Road and Intervale Circle starting May 21st and running through the end of June. The annual Independence Day celebration on the town common will be held on Saturday, June 30th. The Children's Parade starts at 8:30 a.m. from the VFW parking lot, followed by races, food, and music on the town common. Information on the Pine Grove School project is available on the town's website at www.townofraleigh.net. The town has the following vacancies: Planning Board Associate, Agricultural Commission Associate, Fence Viewer, 3 positions, Wood, Lumber, and Bark Inspector, Zoning Board of Appeals Associate, 3 seats, Parks and Recreation Committee, 1 seat, and Deputy Shellfish Constables, 2 positions. For more information on these positions, please contact the Selectmen's Office at 948-2372. The Raleigh Food Pantry is in need of donations. Donations can be left at the Raleigh Public Library. The food pantry is open on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and on Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Your motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.